So you can't see me right now because I'm invisible. And this is what it feels like to be a black man in this country, to be a black man in this world. So let's shed some light on some things. I asked myself, what could I possibly say or what could I possibly do that hasn't been said or done already? But as a black man in America, as a decent human being, there's no way I can sit by idly and not have a voice and not have an opinion. And you know, the thing that hurts me more than the fact that George Floyd's life was taken from him is how people stood by and did nothing to prevent that life from being taken. Which leads me to a critical question. Why is it that time and time again, so often we watch black people being abused, being murdered, taken advantage of, having their rights violated, while other black folks wearing silver badges stand by idly and do nothing? What kind of human being are you to stand by and watch somebody murder someone that looks just like you, someone that shares your culture, someone that shares your history, someone that understands what it is to be a black and brown person in this country and not have full rights, not be seen as a human being? That it's not only that this system is damaged, it's flawed, it's unbalanced, but to make matters worse, people within your own race condone, are complicit with the killing of black men and the abuse of black people in general. When you decide to stand by idly and allow a life to be taken, what you are really saying is that I think nothing of myself. I have no desire to protect those folks that are helpless, harmless, just looking to lead an everyday life like everyone else. I'm not interested in saving them. I'm not interested in loving them. I'm not interested in knowing them. I'm not interested in giving a damn about their plight. Because in this moment, I stand with the oppressor. And the oppressor, energy, love, and concern for me matters most. So to hell with my people, to hell with their plight, and to hell with making a difference with the tremendous privilege that I've been given. Some of you have been sworn to uphold the law and to make a difference, to save lives, not take lives. And I can't think of nothing more inhumane, more foul, more indecent than standing by and doing nothing when someone is losing their lives at the hand of oppression, at the hands of racism, at the hands of bigotry. And you go home and you get in your bed and you come back to your family and you're okay with that. You can rest with that. So we have two issues that we need to confront. Yes, we need to confront this out of bound bigotry and racism that's upon us. But we also need to confront the bigotry and the racism that's within our own people, that men of color wearing law enforcement outfits that help commit these dastardly murders every day, you stand by and you do nothing. That's a bigger problem. And I'm confused why no one is talking about how we continue to allow a system to hold back a people. How we continue to allow a system to kill people. I'm amazed. I don't want to be long-winded on this, but I want to make this point. Any black man or any black person that is being threatened, abused, in a position to lose their life, and you as a person of color, you stand by and you do nothing, someday that might be you in that very position. Might be your uncle, might be your father, might be your mother, might be your brother, it might be your children. A man that doesn't love his people cannot love himself. And so right now, the larger question that looms, how much do we love ourselves when we can stand by idly and watch our own people be killed at the hands of people that don't even deem us human, don't even value us, don't even see our worth. The next time you see someone that looks like yourself, love them, protect them, hover over them, do any and everything that you can to make a difference and to have an influence over saving a life. Before I leave, I want to tell you a story that happened to me in my life. Some years ago, the alarm in my house went off, and I had to leave work, and I rushed home. And by the time I got home, the police didn't arrive yet. So I go in my house, which I should not have, but I did, to check it out because I couldn't stand the suspense. No one was in there, and the alarm had malfunctioned. The police had taken an outrageous amount of time to get there. And when they got there, I was sitting in my office, and I could see them through the window. And I could tell they was having a heated debate. I don't know what it was about, but eventually they came out the car, they got out the car, they knocked on the door, and I told them, officers, thank you for coming, it was a false alarm. And at this point they proceeded to prove that the residence I was in was my residence. So I gave them the necessary information to prove that I indeed was the owner. They continued to ask, well, one of them continued to ask for more documentation than what I had. And one of the officers, and this is where having a voice and making a difference, this is where it matters. One of the officers said to the officer that was really badgering me about providing more information to prove that this was my residence, he turned around and he said to me, he said, sir, it's more than obvious you satisfy our curiosity. He looked at the other officer and said, see, this is what I've been talking about. This man has shown us and proven to us that this is his residence. And you continue to come into his community and make a big deal. You continue to come into his community and disrespect him and act as though he doesn't matter. And when that officer said this to his partner, I learned one very important thing that day. That police brutalities and police murders can stop and would stop if the officer standing by would only say, at this point, this must stop. This is as far as I'm going. I am not willing to take a life. I'm not willing to abuse a life. I've sworn to uphold the law, and partner, I'm going to make sure that you do that. And if some of you good cops or decent human beings thought that people like you was deserving of an assist, a lot of lives would be saved. So from this point on, make it your business to protect the helpless. Because at this point, with all of the lives being lost, I think we can safely assume that black people are helpless. They're not voiceless, but they're helpless. And you add to and compound the danger and the misery that we live through every day. No more being complicit. No more standing by. From this point on, you get involved and you say enough is enough and I can't do it. Partner, this is where I draw the line.